You mentioned the concentration camp thing. Okay, there was a headline in the LA Times about a week ago that said, let's call the detention centers what they are, concentration camps. Then AOC came out and said that is exactly what they are concentration camps, and even invoked the term never again. Now, they're horrible places. I think we all agree. It's just beyond the pale that America would do this to people. And concentration camp, maybe they fit that definition technically, but there are certain words that we just associate with something truly at the ultimate end of horrendous. Holocaust just means a big fire. But we don't use the word, hey, let's go have a Holocaust, I'll bring the wieners.
So now you're
no one says that.
But
so,
now you're the one demanding an apology and getting in the face
I'm not
of
demanding an apology.
Using the wrong word.
No.
But you know,
that's a pretty special case. Go ahead.
Well, at the same time that Trump is accusing the New York Times of treason, the penalty for which is death, we're upset because AOC is using the phrase concentration.
But are they concentration?
Well, they're not. I lived in Germany for a year. The death camps were all built outside of Germany. I lived just down the road from an actual concentration camp that was still preserved in Germany.
Andrea Pitzer, who wrote the book One Long Night, which
labor camp. Yeah, people died there, but it was not a death camp.
People are dying in the concentration camps. We're putting migrants and separating their children from.
And these children are dying.
Right. Andrea Pitzer,
at the same rate they were under Obama.
Actually,
no.
Well, that's what I read. 24.
I was actually sent some information today that suggests that yes, it spiked a bit, and now it's actually come down a bit. The point is, deaths in these situations are horrible.
We all agree there.
We can argue about the numbers, but the point is,
can we agree on the terms? Andrea Pitzer, who wrote the history of concentration camps, One Long Night, a mass detention of people, often political prisoners or members of persecuted minority groups, without trial. That is literally what we were doing.
Well, no, actually, they do get a trial. It just is delayed. We wish it would take longer. But they are there to get a trial, and they do often get a trial. Come on, when we think of concentration camps, I don't know what you think. I think of mass graves. I think of experimenting on human people.
The concentration camps came first. It was a step on the road to the death camps.
Yes.
And we need to use the language to describe what is actually happening right here.
You really think we're on the road to death camps?
We're on the road to fascism, and death camps is an aspect of fascism.
And concentration
people call me an alarmist.
And if you want to take on Trump, start using language that's going to blow his mind apart.
No, but I have to disagree with that. I work a lot on immigration issues and looking at the polling on this. Personally, yes, I think technically there is a point there. And when you see members of like a Japanese-American internment camp community come out and say that they believe the language is
George Takei came out and said, yeah,
right.
They're concentration camps. I was in two of them.
Okay, I take that point, but here's the key. We don't actually need to use that language in order for that argument to be won. If you look at what happened in No, you absolutely don't.
Language is the key to everything.
It is,
language is how we communicate.
It is.
If we don't take names and kick ass and use language that
with all due respect,
upsets the Republicans, we're screwed. Come on, what kind of wimps are we?
Tom, with all due respect, I'm a pro-immigration Republican, and I guarantee you I've seen volumes more of private data regarding the language here than you have. I'm not saying that the concentration camp thing is inaccurate. What I'm saying is, let's just describe...
So you're saying it's accurate?
Technically,
it's technically accurate. But it has a connotation that goes far beyond, as so many words do.
And is the New York Times technically guilty of treason?
It's so different from what we think of as concentration.
Can I finish the basic point that I was making here, which is this? Merely talking about what goes on in these places and what's happening to migrants, you've already won the fucking debate. You don't need to use the term concentration camp. Why don't we talk about what's actually happening here instead of having 50% of the country go, wait, they're saying Auschwitz.
The use of the term concentration camp has caused people to debate what is actually going on in them.
No, that was already happening. That was already happening.
For 2 fucking years, we danced around going, can we call these lies? Is what Trump's saying a lie? Can we call him a fucking liar?
No.
And it took us 2 years to get around to calling him a fucking liar. These are fucking concentration camps.
That's not true. This was already happening. This was already happening, and you saw it months ahead of the 2018 midterm elections that this debate was already happening, and nobody was
so easy to get the applause. But if you want to run a campaign based on reparations and concentration camps, if that's what, then it's going to be very hard to win the election. I'm not saying you can't do it. It'll be very hard to argue that this is helping. Anyway.